Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well today. I am doing pretty good. I hope my lipstick's all fucked up a little bit though. Oh, well, we'll figure it out eventually. I hope that everybody's doing well today. If you know already what you're having for dinner, tell me what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. I love to hear about what people wish they had for dinner. I am making spaghetti sauce. It is on the stove, simmering away. And so I will have to run and check it multiple times during our evening festivities. Hello. Okay, so here we got Baba here, Lisa, Robbie Gilvray. Hunter's here, Bob's here, Lisa B, Doggy Deb. Yes, thank you. This color, I love it. It almost got removed by the green screen. I actually had to change some settings, but I sort of like it better. Anyways, um, you had an egg roll. That sounds pretty good. I like that. Um, we have a bit of a conundrum ahead of us today, my folks, my little family, because Paisley didn't do her homework today. Very good. Well, I did. I got distracted. I did a lot of court watching, a lot of different court stuff. However, I did indeed not find the perfect piece for us this evening. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So, what I have is a case that might be too much. Legit. It literally might be too much. For YouTube Daddy, I'm not sure. The allegations are pretty horrendous. So I'll give a trigger warning now. Um, because it is, but it's also hard to understand. So if we can suss it out together, what's happening in the case, I would love that. But there are allegations of SA that will be brought up. So I just want people to know that ahead of time. And then, yeah, just keep that in mind. I have my coffee here. I just made it, so it's not drinkable for like a fucking hour. I'll take the lid off in a minute when I'm settled and let it cool down a little bit. And then, like I said, it is a different judge, a new judge for me at least. I'm sure other people have covered the judge, but I haven't covered this judge before. So it is a new one for me. Let me pull it up here. I'm sorry if you can hear people fucking yelling in my house. Um, yeah, give me 1 second while I pull this up. I'm gonna have to go tell them to be quiet. Pause. Let me switch screens. Live scene. They're doing this on purpose. Look at my background. I changed it. It says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. I love that little saying from Harry Potter. One of my favorites. Love it, love it, love it. Can't get enough of it. Oh, don't need that. Okay. I'll let this start playing and I will be right back. I'm literally going to go yell at somebody right now. Just give me 1 second, okay? So. Oh, okay. And there's no audio with this. I apologize. So hold on. I realize that now. We'll start at the beginning. We'll have the audio. Hold on. Fuck.
Rourke, Mr. Wilcox, a default has been entered. This is a plaintiff's motion for a default judgment. And would you raise your right hand, please, sir? You solemnly swear, oath, or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, so it looks like you're claiming injuries and damages for two incidences in 2022, one on October 1st and the other December 15th. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Tell me what happened on October 1st.
I was asleep in my cell at the Parnell Correctional Facility in Jackson, and I was awoken by the defendant holding a knife, and he told me that I had to perform oral sex on him or he would stab me.
Okay. Then did you end up doing what he told you to do under threat of severe injury?
I did.
All right. And then there is some indication that he made some derogatory statements to you. What were those statements?
If I recall, he
Hold on. No. No. Before you say it, I need to preface it, sir. Okay, so obviously trigger warning, but also the language used here is going to be inflammatory and not nice. So please keep that in mind. I was confused at this. So this is in Newaygo, which I believe is in Michigan. He appears to be the plaintiff. Yeah, if we do exclamation mark trigger, something like that, I think it will come up. But this is the plaintiff, and he is, I guess, suing for damages because of these assaults. But then he's naming a defendant. Like it's confusing to me, even though I watch a lot of court. So, and like I said, I just came across this. And I know what we're learning, Jim of the North, is that prison is not a nice place. That's very true. And yeah, please do keep in mind if this is too much for you or you don't want to hear about this kind of thing, come on back another night. But we will be diving into it and listening and seeing what happens.
be a tranny whore or girly boy or sissy boy trying to imply somehow that I was transsexual or transgender.
Okay. And did you have that gender identity at the time, or is that just things they were saying?
I do not. I think that was his perception based upon where I was housed at the time, because there are transgender people who are housed at Parnell Correctional Facility. Okay. So I can't tell the court what was in his mind. I can just go by the words that came out of his mouth.
All right. And how was he just wandering around this facility with a knife? How does that happen?
Well, Judge, I think weapons are pretty common in prison. This is a cell block that has 450 some people in it and 5 staff members. So it's not like there's an officer standing there watching you all the time. It's pretty much they open the cell doors and you're out wherever you want to go until count time, and they close the cell doors. So there's not a whole lot of observation.
Okay. All right. And then what happened on the 15th of December?
That was the second time. It was in the afternoon. I was in my cell, and he came in my cell again, armed with a knife, and told me if I didn't allow him to have, I can't really use the words that he used, but if I didn't allow him to have anal sex with me, he would stab me.
All right, and under the threat of severe injury, did you go along with his demands?
I did.
Oh, the judge has to make him say it. Wow. These are very in intense. Like I said, trigger warning. Um, Parnell Center. So it is in Michigan. Yeah, I think this is a very interesting case as well, Hector. Sounds like Shawshank Redemption. Um, I don't, that's not okay in any situation, but I think there's a huge cliche. There's a huge cliche about this in prisons systems. We don't often hear about it like this, so this is interesting.
All right, and as a result of these two sexual assaults, was there any investigation done by the correctional facility?
I don't believe so, for the simple fact that it wasn't really public knowledge what happened. There's a pretty, I mean, probably the worst thing after somebody who's been sexually assaulted is somebody who's a snitch. So there's a pretty high stigma attached for me to go to the corrections officers and tell them that this took place. That would have been put my further jeopardy.
All right, so given the culture and bias against informants, snitches, or anybody complaining of any sort of injuries, you did not identify this individual as being someone who sexually assaulted you. Is that right?
Correct. And it was my impression, although I guess I don't have any hard evidence, that the defendant was also a gang member.
All right.
Which also
do you know what he was serving time for?
I don't know that information.
All right, and what are you serving time for?
I have convictions for home invasion, kidnapping, larceny by conversion, and criminal sexual conduct with a person between the ages of 13 and 15.
You're serving, concurrent sentences for all those offenses now?
Correct.
Okay. And when were you sentenced on those offenses?
2002.
And what sentence did you receive?
70 and a half to 60, and then 4.5.
And I didn't catch that. 17 and a half, did you say?
Correct. To 60 years would be the controlling sentence.
Okay.
And I will see the parole board sometime this summer.
Have you been denied a parole?
I was denied parole for the first time last year because I had not completed the programming that the parole board wanted me to complete. COVID kind of set back everything, and I wasn't able to get into the program until just this last December.
All right. Did you go to the infirmary, or did you receive any medical attention as a result of either one of these assaults?
I've received a lot of psychological, but the injuries that I have, I was able to treat myself. I mean, I have seen health. I tried to subpoena the records. Department of Corrections didn't want to cooperate, and I really don't want to pick a fight with them. But I have a recurring problem with a non-healing anal fissure from the laceration I received when he raped me. And I receive psychological treatment every week, and I take medication every single day.
All right, and you weren't receiving.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, maybe too much. I don't know. I am not sure. Just like riding a weird line here. I do actually know, funny enough, um, anal fissures can happen a lot and are somewhat common in some BDSM lifestyles, depending. But you have to um, treat them properly. Hi, guys. If you're just getting here, trigger warning. Oh, if I can't handle it, I can come back next video. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm gonna go stir the sauce and I'll BRB.
Any psychological treatment prior to these assaults? Is that correct?
Not for the post-traumatic stress disorder, no. I've had OCD. I've had OCD for a number of years, but for the PTSD, I wasn't diagnosed with it until after this. And I didn't have the nightmares, the intrusive thoughts, and the panic attacks, and I wasn't medicated for these symptoms prior to this assault.
All right. Before you were incarcerated, did you, what was the highest level of education that you received?
Oh, Judge, I thought you were going down a different alley. I thought you were going down a different alley. Hi, Dana. We are having a bit of a crazy night, you guys. Yeah, this is all real. This is absolutely real and not funny at all. In fact, serious case, but something we don't often hear, and which is why I wanted to sort of put it on. Again, he does have that conviction for criminal sexual conduct with a child between the ages of 13 and 15. And hi, Heather, Triple H. So, I'm not saying that that makes it okay, but I do think that that makes him a target in jail because of that. And so I am making spaghetti. I made the sauce. I started the sauce like, how, I don't know, an hour ago? No, 40 minutes ago. And now I am stirring it. And then we'll eat it after this is over for the night. This is, um, quite significant if he's talking about non-healing things. Yeah, homemade sauce is always the best, I would imagine. Yeah. Um, I did it with pork this time. I normally am a ground beef girl, but there won't be meatballs, but there's pork in the sauce. And then I don't have garlic bread. I could make some garlic toast, maybe. Mm, that would be good. Yeah, I know. Mikey always makes us hungry with all his polls and all the good stuff. Um, I put mushrooms and onions in my sauce and garlic and MSG and a few other seasonings to make it delightful. Um, it is, yeah, lots of garlic is also the case. Uh, I just have to boil the water to put the noodles into, and I can do that whenever. Obviously, they could do that themselves, but are they gonna? A different alley, that's what he said, right, Grim? Oh my God. Oh my God. Also, if you're just getting here, please clock in for your shift. This is trigger warning episode, so please keep that in mind.
I graduated from high school. I've completed a paralegal course from Blackstone School of Law, and I've worked mainly as a paralegal or a law clerk since I've been incarcerated.
All right. And when before you were incarcerated, what sort of jobs did you hold? What sort of skills do you have?
Before I was incarcerated, probably the most consistent job I had was a maintenance person at a apartment complex.
And how much were they paying you for that position?
Back in 2002, I want to say I was making somewhere around $12 an hour.
I was making $10 an hour in 2004 when I worked for a bank, so that's pretty good.
All right. Is that the best paying longer term job that you had at the time?
Correct. In prison, as a law clerk, you make $1.50 a day.
Okay. And how old are you now, sir?
I am 51 years old.
In your brief in support of your motion for default judgment, you indicated that you think that your earning capacity was
Oh, because he's asking for lost wages, Robbie. Again, I don't know who. Oh, I guess the defendant isn't there. But how is he going to collect on the dude? He's not going to be able to collect it.
$60,000 a year. Is that right?
Correct, based on the request for admissions that I filed along with the complaint that the defendant never responded to. And $60,000 would be entry level for what a person with my training and experience would make.
Criminal sexual conduct with a 13 to 15-year-old, kidnapping, burglary or break and enter, some assault, home invasion, that's what it was. Home invasion, some pretty heinous crimes, and his controlling sentence is 17 to 60 years.
All right, you indicated that your earning capacity was reduced by 25%. Is that correct?
Correct, Judge. That's again based on the request for admissions that were served along with the summons of the complaint that the defendant, by failing to respond to them, has admitted.
All right, why do you think that your earning capacity is diminished by 25%?
Well, I again, I don't know that I'm required to present evidence on exactly why, since the defendant is deemed that this fact has been admitted. That kind of that's the whole point of me serving the request for admission on them, so I wouldn't have to get an economics expert.
Hi, Miss Donna. Thank you so much. Hector, you got a gift. Yay! Thank you, Orlando Chiquita. Also, Donna, this case, have you seen this case anywhere else? It's pretty raunchy. I find this actually very interesting. This is an inmate suing another inmate for an inmate assault. That's very interesting. Not something we often hear about, I would say. And of course, he's come forth to the court with his law clerking experience that he has over the years now, since he's been incarcerated since 2002. That's quite a while. So, and he did say that he's going up to the parole board this summer. This is Michigan, by the way. Michigan. Michigan. Yeah, it is a yucky one. But like I said, I didn't really do much in my proper home. Well, I did. I'm not going to complain about it, but I did a bunch of different things.
Based on the fact that I'm on medication, based on the fact that without, I can't really leave my bunk area without being scared of everything around me, without having to worry about if somebody's going to attack me again. The panic attacks that I have, I can't see myself being able to work a full-time job and still dealing with these psychological issues. So I looked at if I had to work an 8-hour day, how many hours of that day would I be able to function without being impaired by these psychological issues? And I came up with 6 hours, which is 25%.
All right, and the yearly earnings was based on you working as a paralegal, is that right?
Correct. I've been working as a paralegal for 10 years now. A paralegal who has worked for 10 years at entry level, getting out of prison and going to work as a paralegal somewhere, $60,000 is about the baseline.
Are you aware of any prisoners with your record that have come out and had a successful career as a paralegal?
I don't know if the court remembers a guy that got out of prison and was clerking for a Michigan Supreme Court justice. It happened probably last year or the year before, and he was able to get out of prison and go to work for a Michigan Supreme Court justice as a law clerk. So I'm assuming there's hope for me.
All right, so what are the damages that you are seeking against Mr. O'Rourke? What's the total amount?
Well, Judge, I had it broke down by the statute. Says the court needs to consider these 6 different categories of damages. For past economic damages, I don't claim any because I didn't lose any work necessarily from this. For past non-economic damages, I talked about the Doe versus Doe case. There's not really any case law that talks about compensation for a prisoner being raped, except for that one case out of Wayne County, Morgan versus Campbell, or Morgan versus Wayne County. It was a female prisoner who was in the custody of the Wayne County jail, and she was transferred to a psychiatric floor of a hospital, and Wayne County was supposed to have 2 deputies on the floor the whole time. Both of the deputies stepped away for a minute, and in that brief moment of time, she was sexually assaulted by another prisoner. And in Morgan, in that case, the federal district court awarded $1 million. That was in 2021, and it was for purely non-economic damages. And that was for a sexual assault. There wasn't a weapon involved, and it only happened one time. So I think that if you weigh those kind of factors and you look at has happened in other cases, that there's got to be a pretty significant amount of non-economic damages given the act, what took place. I mean, other than murdering somebody, raping somebody is probably the worst invasion of somebody's privacy that there is.
So was that $1 million judgment against the perpetrator or against the Wayne County?
It was against Wayne County based upon their negligence, but the damages in that case that the plaintiff suffered was her being sexually assaulted. So while it was a a negligence claim against Wayne County, her damages were essentially the same as they would have been had she sued the perpetrator, because her damages were the same thing for her psychological injury, for her physical injury. I don't think there was a separate component simply because it was a negligence case as opposed to a sexual assault case against the perpetrator. But again, it was simply for non-economic damages. She was given $1 million, and it happened once, and there wasn't a weapon involved.
Oh, for $1 million. No, you shouldn't say that, Paisley. You shouldn't say that.
Future economic damages I laid out in the brief based upon the request for admissions. I mean, the case law is pretty clear. If the defendant doesn't respond to the request for admissions, they're deemed admitted, and that I don't have to present any proof on that fact. If the defendant felt like that wasn't a reasonable amount of money that I could make getting out of prison as a paralegal, I guess he had the option to answer the request for admissions and deny that, and then it would have been a fact issue for the trier of fact. He didn't, so it's not. As far as future non-economic damages, I don't have psychologists that can sit here and tell you exactly how long I'm going to have PTSD for, how long I'm going to have panic attacks, how long I'm going to have nightmares about this incident, how long I'm going to have flashbacks about this incident. But by the fact of him admitting that I'll require treatment for PTSD for the rest of my life, the court can assume that if I'm needing treatment the rest of my life, it's because I'm still experiencing the same symptoms.
I have to say he's quite eloquent in his allocution to the court. Even if his previous conduct leaves a lot to be desired, I will have to concede that he is petitioning the court effectively. He's making good points. I don't know. I mean, I've heard way worse from from different types of lawyers, etc. But I do think that there is a weird setup here because, yeah, he's sued. I guess shouldn't he be suing the jail for that? You'd think, I guess, for allowing that to happen, as opposed to suing the defendant, who, suffice it to say, would likely be still incarcerated and therefore have a lack of ability to pay. I don't know.
And in the Hamlin case that I cited, where an individual had PTSD, fright, shock, and humiliation for being punched, kicked, and having his head banged on the ground, he was given a future non-economic damage award of $250,000. In my case, that would equate to $8,500 for the rest of my life. And then, of course, with the ethnic intimidation statute, it requires the court to treble whatever damages the court would award for counts 1 and 2. And then whatever fees and costs and interest to the date of the judgment gets entered.
So under the ethnic intimidation statute, does the person claiming damages under that have to actually be or fall in one of the protected categories?
A white guy does not fall under a protected ethnicity. Funny that. Um, I mean, would an incarcerated person? No, not under ethnicity. But I'm does seem no. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say. I just don't know. He does sound more logically sound than some attorneys we hear. Well, that's true.
Well, Judge, I cited that case. Let me find it for you.
Hi, Chris. While he's looking for that, I'll say hi, Chris. Heather, Triple H has a good point. What about you get free mental health treatment and that's it? He doesn't sound like that he's worried that much about PTSD, more about money. I think he's sort of putting the chickens before the eggs, if you will, in the sense of he's not got a release date at all set up. He is serving a controlling sentence of 17 to 60, that's 60 years for conduct starting from 2002. So that tells us that he's come before the parole board before and been denied parole.
That people is People versus Rogers, 338 Michigan Appeals, 312 at page 329. And it
Cart before the horse. That's what it is. Cart before the horse.
it states that transgender is a part or subset of gender for purposes of the ethnic intimidation.
Whoa, bud. Hold on. I was just about to go fucking change or stir the sauce, which I have to do. And you said you weren't transgender. That's why the judge asked if you were identified, if that was your gender identity at the time. Just because somebody called you a name of something during an assault doesn't mean that you then take that on. That's not how that works. Is that how that works? No, that's not how that works. I don't know. How do I know though? I don't know fucking shit. I don't know shit.
Statute, whether rightly or wrongly perceived. So in that Peoples versus Rogers case, the defendant attacked the plaintiff based on his perception of that person's gender. In Rogers, which is a published case, the court said that transgender is.
Hold on. So are you saying that because he perceived you as transgender, you believe that that's the... Huh. I'm so perplexed. My sauce is doing great, though. You guys. Sauce is doing great. Paisley, medium. Paisley's doing medium today, I will say. Medium rare, maybe. I'm on the medium rare side.
A set of people who are protected under the ethnic intimidation statute. So if at the time of the assault, Mr. O'Rourke perceived me as being transgender, even if I'm not, and that's why he attacked me, then I believe that that qualifies under the statute. Because I can give the court, I guess, another analogy. I'm Native American. I identify as Native American. But if somebody were to attack me thinking that I was white and made some kind of racial slur about me being a white person, the fact that I'm not technically white wouldn't mean that he wasn't doing that for the purpose of...
Crit Angleby, thank you so much. And Triple H, yeah, I will improve after I eat something, probably. I have had very little caffeine today. My coffee is still too hot to drink. Thanks, Bubba Mug. You keep my coffee so hot I can barely drink it. Hashtag not a sponsor yet. But seriously, is that what he's saying right now? Like, this is such a weird case. Aren't you guys glad I got this for us? Oh God, this is gonna spill when I open this. Also, thank you again, Chris, and fuck. Okay, no, I need to move this over here. I need to put it on a more solid surface. Hold on. Oh, okay. Lid off. The lid is steaming. That's how hot it is. Yeah, Hector, my dad used to work in a jail, and I know that there are, you don't like cases like this, to be honest. I hear ya. I said they're not for everybody. That's me stirring my coffee. Ooh, spilled a drop on my fucking thigh. And it hurt. There it is. Talk long enough. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you. Let's get some caffeine in me. Let's change my mood up a little bit. Smoke some weed. Wait, where's my weed pen? Where's my pen? Yeah, but legally it's an interesting case, right? Um, yeah. Also, I'm just happy I've got this dress on and I got to wear it because the green screen.
Intimidating me or harassing me because of my race. It's the perception of the defendant, not whether or not the person he's attacking is actually what he believes them to be. And the best indicator of what his intent is the words that he uses out of his mouth. And if he calls me a tranny, I have to take him at his word that that's what he believes that I am, and that is the reason that he's attacking me. Otherwise, why use that verbiage if that's not what his intent was? He could have called me 100 other things. He chose those specific words.
All right, so what is the judgment that you're asking the court to enter on your behalf?
Well, Judge, I don't have a calculator in front of me. I can do some back of the envelope math. For past non-economic damages, I would ask the court for the $3 million. For
3 million? He says nonchalantly doing back of the envelope calculations for $3 million? Is that what he's doing? There's the title. Your Honor, give me $3 million. Oh, I don't know how to say the rest, actually. YouTube friendly. Interesting.
future economic damages, I would ask the court for $165,000. For future medical bills and other healthcare costs, I would ask the court for $457 or $400,057,250. For future non-economic damages, I would ask the court for $250,000.
All right, the court has taken the testimony of Mr. Wilcox. He testified as to the assault that occurred, how it has affected him physically, mentally, emotionally, and the court is granting damages as he's directed. And Mr. Wilcox, you can prepare a judgment to that effect, and I'll sign it when you submit it.
What? Did he? Wait, what? Did he just get a default judgment? Oh, did I mishear that? Holy shit. Now, I'm gonna say if he showed up or if he sued but his victims, but hold on, who is this enforcement? Who is this against? The guy, the defendant. So, yeah, it, wow. Holy shit. Can you imagine? No, he'll never recover, but he will have the best fucking resume as a jailhouse lawyer I've ever heard. And I guarantee if the other person was the jail being sued, they would have showed up. They would have answered the lawsuit. It was a bit of a default judgment, in a sense. Yeah, wow. Wow. Now, here's an interesting question. Can he collect it on the inside? Yeah, I don't know. But I'm very interested. This one's fucked up. The guy now owes him $4 million. Oh, yeah, receive it in commissary, right? $4 million judgment granted? Is that the thumbnail title? Do you guys think this is too graphic to post as a video? What do you think? I mean, I know I'm sitting here doing it as a video, but I don't know. I sort of, I don't know if I want to tiptoe around it. We'll see. That's nuts. I can't believe that. I'm in shock, actually. I'm in shock. And once again, yeah, YouTube Daddy won't like it for monetization. I didn't monetize this live either on that for that reason. Yeah. But the views, Hector, the views and maybe the subs. I don't know. No, I'm just joking. This is pretty fucked up. Let's finish the case. Let's listen up to it. We'll talk a little bit more at the end. Um, yeah, I don't think it's monetization, but I'm shook at this. I'm shook.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, well, so, I was asking you some of those questions because a lot of times when I get pleadings from inmates, they cite different cases and they don't really understand what they mean or they don't understand the nuances. So I was just, I guess for my own interest, kind of testing the depth of your knowledge and whether you're just citing these things or did you read them and did you understand them? And essentially, do you understand these concepts? And it's clear to the court that in your 10 years experience.
What is this, a fucking job interview, Judge? This is weird. Also, Donna, that's hilarious. You went to a Spanish restaurant where the staff didn't speak English. The menu was in Spanish. You don't know what you ate. It was okay or good, but you won't go back. Not bad, but won't go back. Okay. Marielle. Hi. This is a crazy case. Um, Donna, couldn't you have taken a picture with your phone and looked it up? That's what I would do.
Experience that you have a pretty good grasp of the law, can read cases, can understand the outcomes. And I guess the the training and experience that you've had in prison, is fairly useful. And I'm impressed with with your knowledge and your ability to understand, complex areas of laws, the different areas of damages and stuff. So, good job. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge. I mean, in the end, I doubt Mr. O'Rourke is ever going to have any kind of earning capacity based upon his criminal history and his capacity to continue committing crimes while he's been incarcerated. But I guess this is just a small victory for me personally to go through the proceedings, have it recognized that this took place and that these are the things that happen as a result of it. So I appreciate the court's time and its comments, and I'll prepare the judgment and send it to the court.
All right, thank you, sir.
Oh, no, we're not watching it again. Do you have a Bubba mug, Hunter? That's cool. I love my Bubba mug. It is so amazing. It keeps my drinks so hot or so cold that it's almost too much. I mean, not quite, but almost. Almost. Let's talk a little bit about that case. I find that really interesting. Also, I want to be sponsored by Bubba Mugs. Hashtag not a sponsor yet, but one day I hope to be. They're available at Walmart. Only $18.95 Canadian, and I think it's like $15 US. Maybe I should put more Bubba Mugs on my Amazon wish list. That was such a crazy case. I can't believe he just won $4 million in a sense. I mean, he's not going to be able to collect it, but I mean, kudos. I bet that's exactly how he dreamed it would go every time he dreamt about it, Like, oh, the dude won't show up and the judge will let me enter the thing for like admissions, all those things. I mean, he followed the protocol, he followed the rules. And this is the thing. This is why you should hire a lawyer to do these things for you, because it's very easy to fuck them up. And it's also very easy. Yeah, this was quite a case, Heineken. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I know I have to tiptoe very carefully all across this case today, but I did sort of like having a new judge to listen to, a new case to listen to. Um, Sometimes I hear feedback that a lot of the court channels cover the same cases. Well, there are some popular judges. I don't often cover the popular judges. I will say that. I don't do very much Judge Simpson. I don't do very much Boyd, Bryant. I never did Judge Dad stuff, anything like that. So, or DeSanto even, actually. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not my kind of court. I know there's lots of channels covering that. So that's why we often find weirder shit on these channels. The little guys like us. Um, Maybe he wants to use this as a foot in the door for a legal firm if he ever gets out, since he knows he's not going to collect. That's a good point, Triple H. And I guess he really did triumph on the fact that he was called a transgender. Again, very confusing, and no lawyers in the courtroom except for the judge, who is obviously not able to practice law from the bench. So, really no lawyers in that courtroom at all. There was just the judge and the plaintiff. No defendant was there. Very, very interesting case. The defendant is incarcerated currently. You think that, I mean, are you going to tell me that he was able to file this lawsuit without anybody knowing? Like, he never reported it. He said the snitches get stitches, etc., basically. But, well, Heineken, I would say it's a very interesting case to rewatch. He was suing another inmate for an assault, and spoiler alert, he won. Obviously, he's not going to be able to collect very easily upon the other inmate who's also incarcerated. But yeah, I guess a trip out of jail. Yeah, maybe Dana, you know. Um and again, he's become a paralegal since going to prison. Um Hi Lucy. I don't know if you just saw this. This was a very interesting case, but a lot to handle. Um a lot to handle. If you didn't watch it with us live, I would actually suggest going back and watching it. I think that for legal eagles, no, don't come at me, legal eagle guy. For legal watchers like ourselves, I found it very interesting and very unique. Something that we don't often hear about. But as usual, trigger warning for the essay. I mean, are the allegations still if he's been awarded in court a money judgment for them? That's my question. And this was in Michigan. I can't remember. Somebody said the prison earlier. Grim, I think knows it. But I don't remember exactly where. Um, the judgment was against another inmate who was not featured. And yes, there was a mention of anal fissures. Did I get the video you sent me in Discord? Let me look. Is it in on my Discord? Probably, possibly. Always a good idea to message me if you want. Because I am bad at looking at Discord. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I shouldn't be in charge of one. I've said that. I said that. I said that. Anyway, but I will go look after Lucy. You guys, that was, I know, a quick one for us, but I think going to be, yeah, I'm terrible at Discord. If you message me in Discord, I will see it, like in a direct message. But in leaving things in Discord is more difficult for me to see. Um, what was I gonna say? I will go on. I will check my Discord today. Okay? I will check my Discord. How's that? I, Paisley, swear that I will check my Discord today. I'm lying. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'll check my messages. No, I will. I will. I will. I will. I will. I'll go through. I'm going to check them. I'm going to check them. I'm going to check it. It's like opening mail. I hate opening mail. Even though I opened some mail the other day and I found you did not send me anything in Discord. Thank you. Aw, MB, what, I try and find weird cases. I don't know. Sometimes I just have a natural tendency towards the weird ones. When would you do a Discord after dark? I don't know what that means. Sounds dirty. So I would do it all day long. Uh, no, seriously. You sent me a link, about a man who was pregnant by a boyfriend. Oh, I see. Yes. Oh, yes. I've seen that stuff flying around. Yeah. I understand now what you're talking about. You guys are fucking hilarious. You're razzing me today. I told you I'm medium rare. I can't handle it right now. The girl that took you helped you figure out she wanted you to try food from her culture. Well, that's nice. That's sort of cute. If you ever come to Canada and visit me, Donna, I will take you for Canadian food. I don't know what Canadian food would be. Speaking of homemade sauce, Heineken, thanks for the reminder. Parnell Correctional Facility, that is the one. That's the one. Okay. On that note, I have other shit to do, including stirring the sauce and doing a bunch of other things. But I want you guys to remember that I love you. I am proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Canadian, what are you talking about, Canadian bacon? I love all bacon. Bye.